Hi, I'm Samuel Varghese, and this is Tools for Storytelling. In this episode, which is part 4 of a 4-part series, we'll be talking with Keach and Autumn about a few of their favorite resources on developing your skills as a writer, actor, and director.
And action.
It kind of seems like no matter where you might be, there is most likely a resource available to you, whether that's community college, a university, a conservatory, your local library, the internet. There's a spread of different pools you can draw from. What are some of the go-tos for you guys?
Okay. I mean, as sources of information, God bless Amazon. Again, I've consumed a decent amount of books on writing theory and acting theory. So my 2 acting books, and they're wonderfully contradictory. Stanislavski and the Actor by Gene Benedetti, because I was originally Stanislavski trained. I like the approach to that. Also, Stanislavski is more physical than everyone gives him credit for.
Oh yeah, totally.
And Benedetti does a good job explaining that. Sorry, had to defend my guy Stanislavski for a minute.
Yes.
But that specific book, in conjunction with and almost for a counterpoint, a practical handbook for the actor, which is by a bunch of Mamet students. And Mamet railed against everything Stanislavski. So those are kind of my 2 acting tomes. As a writer, oh, good Lord, help me if I can remember the author's name, but there are 2 fabulous books called Writing the Pilot and Creating the Series that are really good for, and even if you're not just looking for television, but for thinking both artistically and practically about creating a story. Because, this person's a screenwriter, the author's a screenwriter, so it talks a lot about how to fulfill yourself as a writer and how to operate as a writer, and to think smart about the business, which I think is so incredibly important. And a lot of what's missing in some film and writing program education. I mean, programs seem to be getting better at that now. And also on the acting side, acting for a business is now a standard class out in the world, thank God. But it's still a wealth of information. And then Showrunner's Roadmap by Neil Landau is another great one. A sort of how to guide a story, how to work in a group setting. Also goes through the early dog days of a writer, how to get your script bought and how to pitch effectively. So yeah, those are kind of my tomes, if you will.
I can't believe you forgot Breaking and Entering.
Oh!
It's like his favorite freaking book.
Lord, you're right. I was thinking technique. And yeah, for actors out there who, again, like if you missed out on the acting as a business class, or if you just feel like that part was incomplete, or you just want another voice, incredible book by Philip Carlson, Philip Seymour Hoffman's former agent. Among others, also represented Viola Davis and Alton Janney. Just to say the guy knows what he's doing. Breaking and Entering, a guide to auditioning, acting, agents, and
he knows the subtitle.
etc. I think that's not the exact subtitle, but Breaking and Entering, Philip Carlson, has just imbued me with so much confidence that I can actually go and do this acting thing and make it not just a hobby I paid thousands of dollars to study in college, but a viable career, and something that I can do meaningfully. So yeah, those are my 5 tomes, if you will, that I go back to time and time again.
Very good. How about you, Autumn? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is gonna be bad, but I haven't actually read this book, but I have studied the technique at Stella Adler,
then you're good.
And it is amazing, and I cannot recommend it enough. And I wish we would have gotten more time with this instructor because he was brilliant. But it's called the Lucid Body Technique, and it is absolutely incredible, completely invaluable for someone who is very mentally focused like me or you. Did you study Lucid Body?
No.
Oh, babe, you would love it. But anyhow, so it helps you, long story short, it helps you combine the mental acting with your physical acting, and it really fuses the two, which is something that I've never been able to do before I studied that specific technique. So I'm a little bit of a fangirl, but I don't read as much as this guy does, but I do read a lot of plays, and that is completely invaluable for sure. And don't just read the classics, you know, your Tennessee Williams and your Oedipus freaking Rex or whatever. You absolutely need to read contemporary plays. I think that is so important to know who the current playwrights are, even if you're not looking for the roles that are for you. Just know what's out there in your chosen career field. Writers, playwrights, actors and directors alike. I think that's absolutely so important. Go to the freaking library, man. Yeah. They're there.
They're free.
They're free. Borrow them from friends. And like sometimes you can get like the digital ones for like pretty cheap on Amazon as well. So yeah, find playwrights you like, find voices you like. That is really, really great for you as an actor to find out what kind of playwright voices you enjoy. And go to plays. Go to plays as well. That can be a little on the pricier end at times, but a lot of times, if you are a student, there's student tickets, there's rush tickets. See what friends are in plays. It can get you comps if you're really broke. But yeah, going to see plays is super important. So those are my big things.
Real quick, explain student rush.
To us. Student rush, it depends on the theater. If you're in New York like me, then you go to the theater at like 10 a.m., which I know is the crack of dawn for you because you're an actor, and it is for me too. And then you say, hi, can I get a rush ticket? And you can get tickets for like $30. But if you're not in New York, which you're probably not, you can go to the like Phoenix Theater, for example. You go to the theater, I guess it's an hour before house, and you're like, hey, can I get a rush ticket or a student rush ticket or whatever it may be? If you have a student ID, it's like $15.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I had a thought, but it died of loneliness.
Classic.
I think it was on...
Plays?
Yeah, I think I was just reading...
Contemporary playwrights?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think for you briefly mentioned, but the writer and director's angles on that too is read the new scripts, because you got to know what work is available. You also need to know your relationship to that work. Yeah. You need to discover if there's a certain type of, like postmodern plot structure is a big thing right now. If as a director, you need to find out whether you jive with that or not. You need to know whether your approach is, or your taste or your skill set is viable with that. And either take one of two ways. One, kind of be counterculture and supply something that isn't in vogue, and hope that comes around. Or B, learn what those qualities are in in the new work, or the current work, and figure out how to understand it and how to get good at it. Same thing with writers, understanding what plot structures are in vogue, what kind of stories, what subject material is hot right now, to know whether if it's something that, I know how to write that, you're in the business, or if it's not, knowing what isn't being served right now. Whether you can provide a commentary on the current style or not, because there's always a market for sort of counter movement and satirizing or sort of purposely bucking current trends. So that's sort of why not just actors, but the other two as well should be consuming what's out there.
Yeah.
And why plays? Well, one, it's where the film medium comes from, no matter what film people like to say. And two, there are more access to play scripts. Now, again, there are plenty of places online, I'm sure you know, and I've found a handful myself to get screenplays online. But yeah, plays are incredibly available to people.
Yes, theater is the foundation from which film comes. And that certainly ought to be respected. And I think when
got one.
I fully believe that when it is recognized that way, it will make you a more well-rounded and better filmmaker. Other than having this idea that film just
it's better,
dropped out of the sky.
But theater people, don't turn your nose up at film for any number of reasons. One, sort of morally, artistically. Don't close yourself off from opportunity. Don't sneer at others because it makes you insufferable to work with. Well, that's more professional too. But also professionally, understand that film is influencing theater culture and is influencing the audience's culture. Yeah. Acting, even stage acting, has gotten smaller in the last 40 years because of film. You need to understand that and embrace that. And again, you're also closing yourself off to so many opportunities. And really, really good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, look, theater and film joined in a happy union before your eyes.
Best of friends.
Yes.
As we well should be.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. It's how I met you guys. How I met my wife. And I'm very grateful for it. I'm very happy to be able to learn so much from you guys, coming from the theater side of things, and working together on stage and on the screen. And yes, I think that's our cue. So whoever you are, wherever you are, there are lots of resources available out there. Whether you want to pay for them, or if you cannot pay for them, there's stuff available for free. So get out there and
there are other people who are doing what you want to do,
Yes.
and who are or wanting to do it, not doing it yet, and they're waiting for you to give them the last piece that'll get them to where they need to live their dream along with you.
Yes, absolutely. Other people are a huge and wonderful resource.
Probably the best resource.
Yes.
You never know who your friends are. You never know what their secret talents are, too. You never know.
Yeah. So, get out there and
do the thing.
Do stuff. Do the thing.
Do the thing we bid thee do. Shakespeare.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for sitting and talking and sharing your insights. I always enjoy just going through and covering these things. It's very.
So do we, man. Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. Hopefully it won't be too long before we do another one.
Yeah.
God willing.
Good night and good luck.
And cut.
A little bit of clock right there, just the obvious.
I hope you found this information helpful in your pursuit of tools for storytelling. If you have, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the other 3 parts of this conversation. Thank you for watching.